Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is actually the review part of the channel where we take a look at different outdoor products and see what we think about them. So, Vevor, V-E-V-O-R, reached out to me and said, we have a heater that we'd like you to take a look at and do a review. And I said, sure. So, let's take a look at this. Vevor's motto is tough tools, half price. And you know, they do normally come in at a lower cost than some of the other brands. But to be honest, I have heard good things about Vevor. Now, in full disclosure, this is actually the second unit that they sent me. The first unit, I took it apart, didn't take it apart, I took it out of the package and started to do the review, and the control panel didn't work on it. Now, you say, red flag, red flag. No, absolutely not. That, pardon my language, but shit happens. And they immediately sent me a replacement. So, that's a great sign. If something should rear its ugly head and you have an issue, Vevor took care of it. So, let's open this up and see what we got. Nobody likes the unboxing, so I didn't put you through that. But this is what comes with it. It is the standard layout on almost all of these Chinese heaters. You get a manual, the flexible exhaust vent, the heat tube. You get the fresh air intake for the combustion chamber, along with a filter. You get the exhaust pipe with a muffler. And here is something that I've never seen before. In all of the diesel heaters that I've purchased and or reviewed, they now include a fiberglass sleeve that goes on the exhaust pipe. Now that is absolutely fantastic, because what that does, that takes the risk of getting burned or having a fire. That really reduces the risk. I mean, substantially. So kudos to Vevor for this one. Here it is, the standard diesel heater, but they've done something that I really like. They put 2 viewing ports so you can see how much fuel you have from either side of the heater. It has a standard controller and it has the key fob remote. Now, some heaters you have to take 7,500 screws off to gain access to the interior. On this one, it's just a matter of popping those, unscrewing the gas cap, now you say, why should I even have to do that? Well, this is important. Let me get it turned around to where you can see. You've got the fuel pump right here and the fuel line that goes down to here. Before you start this and use it, what you need to do is put diesel fuel in and then prime this pump. What that does is that gets all of the air out of the tube and puts it just, the diesel fuel into the pump. And that will really help with the ignition sequence. So, I'll explain to you how to do that here in a minute. But as I look at this, everything seems to look good. I do see one little thing, and that's just me being me. But these fuel pumps, they can't sit level, or they can't sit with the exit pointing down. They need to be like this so that if you should get an air bubble, that air bubble goes up and out. So they have to mount these things at an angle. And what you see right here is there is a very small kink that wouldn't cause much of an issue, but me being me, that's going to bother me a little bit. So what I will probably end up doing, oh, this is nice. This looks like it has had some fuel. They must have put a little fuel in this pump so that it would be primed, or not necessarily primed, but lubricated, because it uses the diesel fuel to lubricate the pump. So what I may just do, since I have a lot of extra here, I may just snip this here and get that kink completely out, or just to make it really easy, I'll just push it over like that, and then the kink won't be an issue. So for now, let's not worry about the kink. And let's put this bad boy back together. Okay, now while I've got it on this side, I want to show you. This is the power connection. It's 12 volt DC, and it does come with a built-in or an inline fuse. So all of that is great. All right. Let's see if this bad boy will fire up. And you can see the power is on. So I'm going to show you on this particular unit, you know, they are constantly improving these controllers. And this is one that I had not seen. So I had to look in the manual, and it clearly explained how to do it. You press and hold the down button for 7 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it came on. You hear the pump. Now I want to watch for fuel to come up into the tube. Believe it or not, you can see it. Actually, it comes from the other direction. I'm seeing fuel coming out of the pump. Sorry. But I want to make sure there's plenty of fuel in this line. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a timer counting down. It'll do that for 3 minutes. Alrighty, it did not take the full 3 minutes or 300 seconds to fill the line, so I powered it off, which shut off the pump. Now I'm going to put it back together, and we're going to try it out. All right, one more thing. In full disclosure, I know I've said that once already, but my OCD got the better of me, you guys. I cut out that little bitty kink and just moved it back onto the pump. Took about 30 seconds to do, and now there's no kink. I don't think the kink would have been a problem, but that's just me, you know. All right, I'm going to put this bad boy back together. Let's see if it runs. So what I've done is I have just hooked an exhaust pipe up to it so that it'll blow outside, just so we can test and make sure that it's going to work. Oh, one more thing that I forgot to mention. This also has a Bluetooth app that you can run it off of your phone. So that's pretty cool too. But let's just start this thing up. We're going to hit the power button. It says on. Talks to me. Fans come on. Okay, if you have done anything with a diesel heater in the past, you know that this cycle takes a couple of minutes to get going. So I'm not going to sit here and run the film the whole time. I'll get back to you when it starts. Wow, that took about a minute. I don't know if you noticed, but this was at 12:16 when I said, okay, I'm going to turn it off. We started it at 12:15. Got a little bit of white smoke, and you'll get that in the initial setup because of priming the pump. And it will burn it, it'll burn that off, and there won't be any issues. Okay, I'm going to let it run for a minute, let it burn that white smoke off. Okay, you can see it shows 21, so that means it's been running for about 4 minutes, and listen to how smooth it is. And let me show you something. No more white smoke. Alrighty. That was a little long, I know, but I wanted to show you everything about this, especially since I had a little issue with the first one. So, I think that gives this a good, solid look at the Vevor diesel heater. To me, I think it is just as well built as any of the others out there, and like we mentioned, it typically comes in at a lower cost. So that's a good thing. I'm going to let this bad boy run for 20 minutes or so, get the new burned off of it, and then I will put this into my arsenal of diesel heaters to use on maybe the next truck camping. Anyway, thanks for coming along. I hope this review helped, and I hope to see you on the next one. As always, later.